Hi students, we are moving towards the next part of your writing skill series, and we are going to look into letter writing today, and we are going to look into formal as well as informal letters. So as you all know, we have two types of letters, the formal and the informal letter. But the formal letters are also known as business letters, and the informal ones are also known as social and friendly letter. They are also known as family letters. So don't get confused. If you get a question, write a business letter or write a social letter. That is nothing but your formal or informal respectively. Now we look into the general format of informal letter. So whenever we are writing a letter, be it formal or informal, there is some set of rules to be followed. There are some format to be followed, and only when you follow that format, you get marks in for your writing skill section. So the first part is nothing but your heading. Your heading is nothing but the address, your own address and the date. So if I am writing the letter, this heading part will contain my address and the current date that we are writing upon. Sometimes it might happen that you need to change the date according to the requirement of the situation. The next part is salutation. Now salutation is nothing but greeting someone or greeting the person to whom you are writing the letter. So if you are writing the letter to your parents, to your mother, to your father, so you'll write my dear mother or my dear father, and dear Mr. Paul, my dear Kim. If you observe, I've letters in red font, and that red font is nothing but for what, that this letter is written in smaller case, this letter is written in smaller case, but I've written M in the uppercase. So that's what the rule for the letter writing is. When I write my dear mother, I'm going to write M capital, but D and M should go in the smaller case, lowercase. And if I'm writing Mr. Paul, then this is a proper noun. That's the reason I've written this in uppercase. Same here, the Kim, K goes capital. Next is your body part. In the body part, we are expected to write 3 paragraphs, and the 3 paragraphs are related to introduction, the main part, and the conclusion. So in the first part, you will be introducing, or when you are writing, you could write about an overview, asking about the health of the person you are writing the letter to, and an overview. And in the main part, whatever is the subject that you are supposed to write upon would be in the main part, and few lines of conclusion followed by the main part. So basically your body will contain 3 paragraphs. Next is subscription. Now subscription depends upon whom you are writing the letter to. So when I'm writing a letter to my parents, I'll be writing your loving son, daughter, friend. Like that we are supposed to write. If you observe, this Y is capital, L, S, D and F, all these letters are in lowercase. So this is the format. Again, if you observe, here I've written your affectionate and yours affectionately. Now the difference between these two is, this is an adverb that we're using. So whenever we use an adverb, I do not write your, I write yours. Okay, and when I'm not using an adverb, in that case I can use your over here. Okay, so your affectionate and yours affectionately, there's a difference, and note down this difference so that you do not make mistakes in your letter. And the last part is the sender's name. So if I'm writing the letter, I'll write my name, but in question, if they've given some name, if some name is mentioned, of course we'll have to write the same name. We cannot write our name over here. Okay, so this was an overview of your informal letters. Next we move towards the format of your formal letter. Now what all things should be there in the formal letter? Again, heading remains the same, so it will have our address and date. You always write an address, leave one line, and then write the date. Of course I'll give you the explanation of address and date further. Next is receiver's address. So if I'm writing a letter to, let's consider an editor, so I'll be writing to the editor, then name of the newspaper of what the person is the editor of. So let's consider to the editor, the Times of India, and then the city with the pin code. So that would be your receiver's address. Then you have subject should contain an overview of the entire letter. So whatever you want to explain in the entire letter, this subject should contain a small sentence of 7 to 8 words with an overview of it. So that's your brief idea about the topic. Next is salutation. If you remember, in the previous slide as well, we had seen salutation, but those were for your Informal letter. Now for formal letter, we cannot use dear, or we cannot use my dear mother, my dear father, because we are not writing it to our parents, we are writing it to some official. Okay, so into this we have the sir, this ma'am, and then respected sir and respected ma'am. Okay, so this comes into your salutation part. Again observe S and M are capital. Similarly for respected, R is capital. The body section remains the same. Introduction, main part and conclusion, this is the same. Thanking you note. Always make sure that whenever you're writing a formal letter, put a thank you note after writing the entire body section. If not, at least write these two words thanking you and end it with a full stop. Next is subscription. Yes, in the previous, in the informal letter section, we had seen the subscription as yours affectionately, your affectionate, or your loving son or daughter. But here we cannot write that. So we have a different list, and that is yours faithfully, yours sincerely, yours obediently, yours truly, and a bit different, your obedient student. Again, these are adverbs: faithfully, sincerely, obediently, and truly. So we are using S after the word your. And here, just because we do not use adverb and we use an adjective, that's the reason we use this word your instead of yours. Again, the capitalization, Y is in uppercase, F is in lowercase. Again, your Y in uppercase, S in lowercase. Similarly for the next ones as well. Again, one more thing to remember here is this word faithfully. Spelling of the word faithfully, sincerely, obediently, truly needs to be taken care of. Many of the papers I've gone through, and I always find mistakes, students making mistakes in this word, in the spelling obediently. There are spelling mistake in the word sincerely. Okay, so make sure that you learn these spellings thoroughly. Okay, in the further part of the video, I'll also tell how much how many marks are allotted to this part, so you should not lose those marks. And the last part, again, the sender's name. So same thing, if I am writing, it will be my name. If the name is mentioned in the question, use the same name. Okay, so this is what is the general format of your formal letter. We move to the next part, and there are some key points to remember. So whenever I'm writing date, if you remember in the heading section, I said that we are supposed to write the date. This date has two formats of write. We have two formats of writing the date, and the first format is writing the month, the day, and the year. Next is day with a superscript, then the month, and then the year. But at both the times whenever we are writing the year, it is preceded by a comma. Observe the comma, I've highlighted it. It should be preceded by the year. Okay, and in the note I've written, do not abbreviate the month. So if I'm writing January, I need to write the entire spelling. I cannot write JAN, I cannot write FEB. Okay, that entire word should be written. And now if you observe, I've crossed this off, strike this off, because there's some mistake in it. Now what is the mistake? First of all, if I want to write two before, like the day before, I need to write it second. Okay, I cannot write Jan, I need to write January followed by a comma. Okay, there are three mistakes in this first part. And second part, again, February, the entire word needs to be written. If I want to write month, a day before, day just before the year, I cannot write the superscript of RT. So I need to write February 3, 2020. So this is what is supposed to be written. So do not make such mistakes while writing a date. And what I would suggest is follow one format, like whatever you're suitable with. If you're suitable with the first format, follow that. If you're suitable with the second one, follow that. But once you start writing some format, follow that throughout the year, so that you begin to practice into writing that, so you won't make mistakes during your exam. Okay, and the next part is some address specimens. I've given two address specimens just because sometimes in the questions you don't have the address mentioned. In that case, we are supposed to write our own address, and then we, instead of getting confused or instead of thinking a lot and spending time on it, I always suggest students to learn few address specimens. So whenever you get a question and there's no address mentioned, start writing the address that you have remembered or recalled. Okay, so this XYZ denotes nothing but the name of the person who's writing. In formal letter, you're supposed to write this name. In informal letter, you do not write a name, just because you're writing it to your friend, to your parents, so there's no need of writing the name. But then if you observe, after the name I have added a comma. After this, Rose Villa, so this is the name of the house, comma, street followed by comma, colony followed by a comma, then the city and the pin code. Okay, and then this is the date. Okay, date format followed by this specification. And again another address, another specimen address that I have given is again a flat number, society, area, then the major section of the area, then the city, with followed by the pin code. Always write a pin code into your letter. Do not forget to write the pin code. Okay, so next that I move to is the format of the question. So in your exam, when you get a question, they say the question would contain a formal and an informal letter. So there will be one question for informal and the next question for formal. You are supposed to attempt either of the one. You don't have to attempt both, you have to attempt any one. And the marking scheme. So when it is informal letter, your family letter, sender's address, your own address contains half mark. Salutation, my dear mother, father, friend, whatever you write contains half mark. So those capitalization, case sensitivity matters for this half mark. Then the main body, whatever is there in your body section contains 2.5 mark. Closing contains half and grammar contains 1 mark. Okay, and then the formal letter, sender's address and date half, recipient's address to the editor, Times of India, whatever you write, that is half. The subject and the salutation half, the main body 2 marks, subscription or the closing part is your half mark, and then the grammar that is related to the overall letter, whatever you are using in the main body is majorly contributed for your this 1 mark of the grammar. Next is the question. So into this question, the question says your school, St. Anne's High School, and the entire address they have mentioned plans to celebrate its annual day on 16th July 2020. So into the informal letter, we are supposed to write, as Sharad or Shraddha Mehta, invite your mother to attend the annual day celebration at your school. And into the formal letter section, we are supposed to write, as the school captain, Sharad or Shraddha Mehta, who would be in charge of the event, invite the Commissioner of Police as the chief guest for the annual day by writing a letter of invitation to him. So whenever we are writing, please make sure that you have to use these names only. Sometimes in a hurry we forget to use these names, we write our name or some any other random name, but you're not supposed to do that. So if you're using your name, you will not get that half mark of your address part or maybe the salutation part. Okay, so don't make that mistake, use the names mentioned here. Okay, so we go towards the answer that we have written. This is the informal letter. So this letter is to your mother, St. Anne's High School. The address is picked exactly from the question, just followed by comma and the next lines. Okay, do not give a full stop after the pin code. Again, leave one line after the address, then write date, leave one line, and then the salutation. So dear mom, I'm sure this letter of mine will find you in the pink of health, sailing in the ocean of peace and prosperity. Hope you take your medicines on time and take care of your health. Have you planned to visit anywhere this rainy season? I am sure you haven't planned anything so far, and I want you to visit my school this time. Our school has arranged an annual day event on 16th of July. I remember you did not attend the event last year, but this time, without any excuse, I want you to come here and enjoy my performances. This year, the event is all the more special because it is the Golden Jubilee year of the school establishment. Have planned for various dance performances, speeches, plays, acts depicting school journey of the school, etc. It gives me immense pleasure to inform you that the Commissioner of Police is invited as the chief guest for the annual day. He will also address all of us and tell us stories of his brave deeds and inspire us to become good and responsible citizens of our country. Mom, this event is special for me for two reasons. One, this is my last year here, and two, I am one of the key organizers of this event. So please do simply come and witness your daughter's successful event. We will have a jolly good time together. I do hope you will give me a positive reply. Anxiously awaiting for your early favorable response. Give my regards to Grandma and Grandpa. Your loving daughter, Shraddha. So again observe Y is capital, L and D small, followed by a comma, the name is written over here. No need to write full name because you're writing it to your mother, so only writing Shraddha would still be enough. Next thing, when I'm writing 2 reasons, I cannot write the digit 2, I need to write the word 2, TWO2, the spelling, because in your writing skills it is not allowed to write numbers. So when I'm writing some number, I need to spell it out. Okay, and yeah, that's it. This is what and this is how you're supposed to write your informal letter. We move towards our formal letter next. This is the sample formal letter that I've written. Again, the address same, date same. 2. This is mentioned in the question, the Commissioner of Police, Police Headquarters, Dehradun. I've picked it up from here itself. Okay, then I've left a line, then the subject, again leave a line. Whenever I'm writing a subject, I cannot write SUBJ or only SUB. You're supposed to write the entire word subject. Next, invitation to grace our school's annual event. So now when I'm writing the letter, what should the letter contain is, this is your salutation. Respected sir, I, Miss Shraddha Mehta, am not only the student of class 10 but also the school captain and one of the organizers of the school's annual day event. On behalf of the school authority, management, principal, staff and the students, I wish to invite you for the annual event which will be held on 16th of July. I also request you to preside as the chief guest of the event and grace the occasion. It gives immense pleasure to inform you that this event is all the more special because it is the golden jubilee year of the school establishment. Alumnus of the school gracing the occasion as a chief guest will make all of us proud. We have been hearing your success stories from our principal all throughout. So seeing the legend right in front of all the students would motivate and inspire us to work with dedication, sincerity and perseverance like you did. Please accept this as a formal invitation and be a part of this joyful celebration. Thanking you in anticipation, yours sincerely, Shraddha Mehta. One thing that you need to remember into this part is what I've already explained, and comma, thanking you message. I've seen sometimes students splitting up the word, right? SPE written on this line and CIAL written on the next line. Please do not do that. Write it in the same line. If it does not fit over there, please use the next line. Do not split out the words. Okay, and this is all about the first part of your letter writing session. For this assignment, you're supposed to write both. Do not consider this as an or for formal and informal. You're supposed to write both the letters. I hope you've understood this, and in case you have any doubts, you can connect with me later. Thank you.